Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about, we're going to do a video that I've been looking forward to, and that's the preview for Racing Louisville going into the 2025 season. I don't know why. I feel like I should have started with this one, but I kind of went in a twisted order that wouldn't make sense to anyone but me. So let's get into it though. So Racing Louisville, where are they this year and where are they headed? This is a team that's not going to be sneaking up on people anymore, in my opinion. They made the playoffs for the first time last year in club history, which their history is not that long, of course, but they set a club record for, wins, points, goals, and road wins. And Emma Sears had the most goals for an American in the regular season, I think, with 10 last year. Okay, so the question now, the question now changes. Okay, this is not can Louisville improve. It's can Louisville prove last year was not a fluke. Okay, and honestly, they have a real shot of proving that to us all because they suddenly, it's not like they became a super team over the offseason, and not because they had this star-studded offseason, acquisition, but the core that is there has another season under their belt, and that matters a lot. So let's start with their biggest star, of course, with Emma Sears. She's the headline. She's the breakout name. She's the player defenses, have to plan for. And what's crazy about that, again, I said she scored 10 goals last year as a club record, and she looked like a player that's moving into another level altogether. And this is a young lady that says all the right things in interviews and looks like she's doing the work on the grounds, and the upside is definitely there. I still can't believe she gets away with as much as she does with barely having a left peg, because she does not swing that left peg very often. I do believe she's working on it because it's astounding to me that she beats people so consistently with the same two moves and they go right. And as a manager, if I was playing against her, I would be furious for even letting her go right. I would shadow her so hard, pushing her to her left, that I would be fining people for letting her go right, okay, because it's that obvious. And the crazy part is she succeeds at it. More power to her, because I love her to death. It's awesome. I wish she played on, my team or something. It's that type of player. So I'm not knocking her when I say that her left leg is not as good as her right. We all know this. It's quite obvious, and I don't know how she got away with not being a more two-footed player. Because think about it. If she has 2 feet, holy crap. That's going to be crazy, okay? So, but Emma Sears brings you the pace. She brings you that directness, okay? She causes chaos, and she has a pretty good cross as well. And if Louisville and when they're dangerous, she's usually right in the middle of it. And then you've got Taylor Flint, okay? If Emma Sears is the spark, then Taylor Flint is she's the Flint and Steel, to have a pun on the matter. She gives Louisville bite. She gives them control. She gives them a physical presence in midfield that a lot of teams just do not want to deal with. Flint is freaking so good at winning duels and cleaning things up. And she makes Louisville hard to play through. Very hard, okay? And Savannah DeMello, okay, after going down in that scary situation last year, it could be one of the biggest factors for this racing team. Because if she's fully back and she's fully healthy and her influence is back, that changes the ceiling of this team. Okay, she brings some craft and she brings some vision that they don't have if she's not on the field. She's got that ability to unlock teams for you, more than just surviving games. She will unlock a team and bring you some devastation to them. So, in Louisville need that because they need, they're organized, but being dangerous against top teams is a whole nother freaking level. So for the rest of the core, we're looking at, you've got Aaron Wright, you've got Lauren Miller, you've got Courtney Peterson, Ellie Jean, and let's see, players like Kayla Fisher, Sarah Weber. These are players that can give you that organization and calmness in the field that they were lacking for the first half of last season. They were improving too. And I don't really think that they squeaked into the playoffs so much. I know it was coming down to the wire. But they definitely earned it, okay? So it's not a team that's starting over this year. They're a team that's trying to level up, okay? Because several of their players that stayed should just get better for them, okay? Now, there are some players that they did lose, okay? I think with Sonas leaving, Janine Sonas leaving, it kind of hurts a bit because she was a bit of a creative force for them and sort of a player who's going to create you chances and give you some production. You've got to replace those points and chances. And I think they've done it, but they also lost they shucked about 9 other players as well. And again, expansion year, you're going to lose some player to the expansion stuff. I don't know. It's not that they didn't lose good players. There was no one that went out the door that I went, oh my God, they shouldn't have lost them. Okay, except for maybe Sonus. Okay, but I think it's going to be fine for you Louisville fans. Now, did they answer those losses with some big flashy signings? No, not really, but they did make some practical moves, and I think that's what they needed. You know, you're not going to expect them to jump from fringe playoff to the top of the table instantly in that. They brought in Rachel Hill, which gives you some experience. Macy Hodge, you know, another very useful player in the midfield, I think. They did add a decent amount of younger players, like, let's see, Macy Blackburn, Audrey McKean came in, Taylor White, and a few others. So, you know, what does this tell me, though, about Louisville? Well, they believe in the group they already had, and they didn't want to, like, tear that apart. So a lot of that is still there with adding some very useful players. Again, you may not added anybody world class, but I don't really think that that's what they needed. They need to continue to build on the foundation they have. Those players were still buying into the system that was created for them, and it looked to me like the system that was designed was actually fitting the players they had instead of the fantasy teams that a lot of managers will have in their head. So, you know, this brings me to that big take on Louisville. They're good enough to make the playoffs again. I'm still not sold that they're a true title contender. I don't think really anyone is, and that's not a knock on them because they're solid. They're going to be fun to watch, okay? And that's the line for me. Playoff team, absolutely. Dangerous, surely. They're definitely dangerous. Annoying to play against, also ticks that box. But championship favorite, no, not yet. I think that's just being real. I think they could use one more hardcore attacking player that's going to bring them, 10 to 15 points in goals and assists, and that would make the big difference. But if Sears stays hot and continues to rise, I mean, what if she gets 20 goals this year? And with her, it's certainly possible, in my opinion. If DeMello can stay healthy, and I hope she does, because along with her and Savannah King, going down last year with scary episodes, that's just too much to watch. But if Plint keeps beating the crap out of people and owning the midfield, well, you're not going to want to face them more than twice a year, that's for sure, because they're gonna just be a pain in the ass on you. But if too much of the attack is falling on Sears, and let's say she hits a dry spell, or their midfield is a little bit creatively inconsistent, you're going to run into some problems with this team. So last note really is Louisville's for real. And I think they're just going to be here proving that over again. And although they don't need to prove it to me, I think they are real. But I think they're also going to be more than a nice story this year. It could potentially be a serious problem to some of the top level teams. And that's the challenge, a full season of consistency to see where they take off to. Okay. Best of luck, Racing Louisville. We'll see you out there on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Okay. Take care. And if you, the viewer, have made it this far, maybe you'll consider looking at the links below to help us out. Maybe buy a hat. Again, my family's been going through a tough battle with my wife's cancer over the last year and a half. And we're almost out of trouble, thanks to some very generous people out there. But we could use a little more help. So please considering liking and subscribing if you like these preview videos or some of the other stuff I do. Or if you need a very good analyst and someone who can fix your structure as either a youth director or anywhere in the pro ranks, because I can fix structures. That is not an issue. So like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.